What's good, everybody? It's your man Big Dom coming live at you another True Players podcast. Tonight, we're going to speak about poly world, poly relationships. I have my guest host, my brother JoeyG, and the sister. Her first time on the podcast as a new co-host, Layla T, LT. She's part with us today. All right, get ready. We're going to start with a beautiful podcast tonight. What's good, everybody? We're back with JoeyG, Layla T. What's good, everyone?
Good.
First, let me introduce the new co-host, the female co-host of the podcast, LT. Introduce yourself to the people.
What's up? I'm Layla Johnson, and just chilling. Glad to be here with you guys.
Definitely. Thanks for joining us finally for the first episode, for your first episode on the True Players podcast.
It's a good job.
Definitely. JoeyG, let them know what's good, my man.
Hey, you already know what it is. I already cracked the beer.
What kind of beer are you drinking?
Right now, I'm drinking the old American classic, Budweiser.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Yingling.
No, I actually looked at Yingling and I was like, I'm trying to live.
But the name itself doesn't sound like an American classic, which always throws me off.
Maybe Miller Lite.
No.
Champagne of beers.
Champagne of beers. It's your man JoeyG, host of True Beer Convo and Family. Yeah, we just added that because that's what we just did. We're back at it again. Maybe I should have started earlier. A little nervous. It's okay, but I digress. Back to you, Bob.
Yes. Thanks for the intro, JoeyG. We're gonna talk about poly relationships. I did mention previously on previous podcasts I wanted to speak about this type of relationship. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And there's people who participate in that, and how do people feel about that? That's what I want to know. I mean, what's great about being in a poly relationship? And do you know anybody who's been in a poly relationship?
Yeah. Actually, if they do the ethical polyamory, I think that's the best way to go. I think the first thing that when people hear poly, they always associate it with it just being a sexual thing. Like, I'm gonna knock down as many people as I can, like my family or my partner knock down as many people as they can, and it kind of turns into a competition. And I don't think that's the spirit of like ethical polyamory. As far as like ethical polyamory, it's about forming those bonds. It's about having an open conversation, and you don't have to be friends with the partner that you're partnering. You know what I mean? It's a different relationship, a different thing, and you get different things from different people. I remember back in the day, we used to have that joke: you marry like 7 people, and each person has a different characteristic. I think that if you have an open discussion about it, and it's not just about it being sexual, because if it's just a sexual thing, just be single, knock down the same thing with the women. I'm not just saying it's a man thing, but you can be single, get as many as you want. You don't have to trick people into it. My problem with it is when people aren't equal with it. Like, you'll have guys that start out like, oh yeah, I want to be poly, and then they're noticing that the girl's getting knocked down and they're not. and then all of a sudden they're just like, oh no, I don't want this. You wanted to cheat on me, and no. Do your research with it. Make sure that you're able to have that kind of personality, because it's not about just knocking people down. I think the relationship, if you're for it and you're able to handle it, because yes, you'll still be jealous. I mean, you're human, but if you're able to work through it and talk through it, it can be something positive. You don't have to have that.
Gotcha.
No, I agree. I agree. There's nothing that you said that I could take away from that and be like, nah, that's not exactly how I feel about that.
Yeah, because I think people just don't do their research, and then they label something, and
it is what boils down to is not doing the research. That's part of it. People getting caught in their feelings is like a major part of it.
Right. But you will have those feelings. I think that's what people
you will. They develop.
Yeah.
They develop.
You'll be like, you like them more than me, or you're spending more time, and those are normal. You're human. But,
right. But you got to get back to it. It's for the common thing, right? This is a common thing that we discussed because it was supposed to be common. Right. We know what we were getting into from the beginning, so it is what it is. Like,
careful with that phrase. That phrase, you know what you was getting into. I'm touchy about it.
Let me explain something.
You ever meet those people that are like,
forget about it.
Let me explain something to you. The terms and agreement has no feelings.
Nah,
so they do.
They do, because some salesmen lie and exaggerate those terms. It's like, oh no, that's a 2% APR for single. And then you cough over that it's gonna go up to 2,200. Yeah, no.
That fine print.
Yeah, no. There's one where it's like, oh yeah, I don't know where I want to be right now, but I'll see if we'll go to a relationship. And oh nah, I told you not to catch feelings. No, you did not. What are you talking about?
I think that all of us. I speak for myself. I mean, I possibly did poly relationships informally, called side chicks, but
See, that's what I said. That's different.
That's
not informed consent. See, that's the thing. Like, the good thing about poly is that you won't have to hide that, right? And you can legitimately be like, okay, look, I told you this is what I have and this is what I get from her that I don't get from you, and it's not a competition thing. And taking away somebody's I'm serious, like taking away somebody's right to choose, that's where it's like down and dirty. But
I get that.
Yeah, like
I get that.
If you sexualize it, like for a woman, right?
Okay.
You can be like, oh, I'm with so and so because he's got like 10 inches and you don't, but your head game is strong. So if you're gonna sexualize it, you could do that, right? But it's really supposed to be about the connection. So.
Right.
But the side chick thing, that's painful. That's what I'm saying. You're the terms and agreements, like I told you not to catch feelings.
Listen, there's jealousy involved. Well, this one get more pumps than the other. Hey, listen, this is the way it is. But that in and of itself, no.
Hey, some people like to go to Great Adventure. Other people like to go to water parks. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my god.
I mean, one group is better than the other. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's but why would they get more pumps in that sense than the other? Like,
I'm not saying that because I'm not saying that it definitely happens. It could be in the spur of the moment, in the feeling, in the moment. It may seem that way. I'll be the guy who was ran out of pumps, and it does happen.
So for you, it was just a physical thing. Then it wasn't like actually dating. It's just more like a physical, like, oh hey, I like you, but I don't want the baggage that comes with you. So let's just.
No.
Oh no. Women get that too, Joe. I know you're like
listen,
we gotta contemplate about our numbers. It's like gonna have to.
Let me tell you something. Layla, you must admit, women do count pumps.
I do time zones. I don't do pumps. we're definitely not having a ride because nobody counts the years as you go up that roller coaster. That roller coaster is supposed to last a certain amount of time. I always tell people you got to be a certain height to get on this ride too. It's not like I don't deal with short people that can't handle the roller coaster. So it is about time and it is about height. And I refuse to believe anything else. Like where people are like, oh, it's not what is that ocean thing? What is it? It's not the motion of the ocean.
Get it?
It's not the size of the ship, it's the motion of the ocean. That one. I said no Navy that's ever won a battle in the world wars have ever said that bullshit. No one has sent out a tugboat when you should have had a warship. So, yeah, no.
Wow. This is why was most critically acclaimed co-host on the True Players podcast. He just gave you exactly why we were made for her to join the True Players podcast. You know what I'm saying? Rough, rugged, and raw. That's it.
Yeah, no, that's it. Because, I mean, it was, you normally, as a woman, you try to pay, sometimes you're like coy because you need to be that way. But trust me, we have our conversations. We're just like, I don't think he's worth the number. Sometimes we'll let you know, like, oh, no, that one, you're even drunk, you're not going to feel anything, so don't even waste your time. Like,
wow.
Oh, yeah. Like,
these conversations are brutal. Give me another beer. Please.
Poor boy.
But that's why polyamory is good, because you don't have to you'll deal with jealousy, but it's more you coming to terms with yourself and you talking it out with your partner and working it out, as opposed to finding stuff out. Like, the thing I've always, I don't know, times have changed, but the things I've always appreciated about West Indian men, right, is that they'll knock down your cousin. You're like, yo, did you see my cousin? It's like, yeah, what, you leaving? And they don't make it seem like you're crazy. Like, nah, I didn't do that. West Indian men will be like, yeah, no, I did. You all right? Are you going? And I appreciate that honesty. Okay, I appreciate that honesty. It's not like, nah, you crazy. And then Shaggy had to ruin it with it wasn't me kind of thing, So.
No. But it all excuse for all West Indian men. All of us have big families, so that may happen.
Is that
anyway.
What you call yours, family?
I'm just saying, I'm not my family, but
no, that's not what I was talking about, Don.
It's so wrong.
Maybe the female has a big family. You don't know who she's related to.
The cousin, the extra cousin.
I don't sit there and analyze stuff. Well, for me personally, I do, because I do have a big family, and which I haven't met every single one of them. So you may encounter a situation where you may encounter a female. You'd be like, okay, let me ask you these questions. You from Cape Haitian? No. Okay, I'm safe. Okay, you from Kai? No. Oh, I'm safe. Yes. Okay, we can talk.
I mean intentionally when you're dating her. Not that you might have accidentally knocked down. I'm talking about like, oh, hey, I just found my cousin's underwear in the couch and it has her name on it. Kind of. Yeah, that's the knocking down I'm talking. I'm not talking about you might have accidentally. I mean, we're from islands. They're small places. I get that. You may cross a family member or two, but I'm talking about like, no. You were breaking them off and you got caught. And it's just like, yeah, nah. Yeah,
then the Shaggy song still doesn't make sense.
Right? Shaggy was like, it wasn't me. Like, but I caught you on the counter. Like,
it wasn't me.
But yeah, no, I think the good thing about ethical polyamory is that it does kind of reduce that, and you can set boundaries, like, not physical boundaries, but you can be like, hey, if you're going to be with this many people, we got to talk about protection, or it doesn't have to be a hidden thing, and you can work through it, as opposed to somebody finding out later. That's what causes problems. When you take away people's ability to choose or their right to choose, people get furious, so
you said curious. You said curious or furious?
Furious, like Fast and Furious. Dom with the family.
Like the jab. Got you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We are going in on this podcast. You know what I'm saying? But my next question is, who benefits most from the relationship? in this type of relationship?
It goes back to what you were saying though. If the communication's open, then y'all can both benefit from the situation.
Right.
But the communication not being open, there is trouble in the waters ahead. You're not dealing with just you and your partner. You're doing and your partners now. You're bringing everybody into the mix. Now you're dealing with everybody's baggage also.
Right.
Jealousy, all of that it gets dangerous in those waters. It gets dangerous because jealousy is a very, very dangerous road to go down.
Especially if you're not open to communication or you don't know how to express yourself,
right?
And you just lash out. Because they do have like those thruples where a couple decides to take on like a boyfriend or a girlfriend or even another partner, and they deal with those things. It's not like they're the magical unicorn that's going to fix your relationship. If you all couldn't talk before
it's not happening.
Now, you just drugged somebody else that's going to look at you like a kid, like, so I'm going to go grab a beer and you guys work that out. They're not going to fix your relationship. But if you're able to communicate and talk, you can talk to them, and then, it could be a fun time for everybody.
See, that sounded good as far as the magical unicorn, but that magical unicorn could be that bull that just comes in and pushes you out of the situation.
But that's lack of communication. Again, it's kind of like how they say that you never really lose friends because you probably lose a person that's using you, but not a true friend. So if somebody is there for you and they're open for the relationship and the polyamory, if they find out that they weren't truly polyamorous, yes, you may lose them. But if they're truly polyamorous, maybe it may not work as having all your other partners as friends. It may work as just having them as single things, and they know of each other but not with each other. I mean, like, we went to school. Not all personalities get along. There's certain people that I talk to that I don't talk to.
Right.
So it's the same in the relationship. Like as it is, it's just got to be an open communication.
I understand that. Well put. I ain't throwing shade.
As we understand, it's all about communication.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's about attention too. You gotta give them equal attention. The two parties,
but
whatever.
That comes with. That's not to mention it comes with this situation though.
Wait, so you don't think you could equally give attention to certain people?
I give attention to everybody.
No, I mean like in a polyamorous relationship. The reason why I say that is it's like because people are like, oh no, they're always gonna go up. There are people that love their mom and dad.
Right.
It's a different kind of love, but it is love.
Right.
And you have siblings. Some people have siblings, some people don't. You have family members. You're able to love each family member in a different way. Some of them you don't like, but it's not a preference thing, Yeah, sometimes it's like, oh yeah, I'm a mama's boy, oh yeah, I'm a daddy's girl. But it's the ability to love multiple people in different ways for different traits that they have. So when it comes to the polyamory thing, maybe physically, maybe you're more excited by one, but emotionally, maybe you're more supported by the other. It's a different type of attention. It's just how it's doled out and why you're with that person.
Me and Joe in deep thought right now about what you just said.
No. I'm trying to.
You trying to give an answer? Be honest.
No, I'm not trying to give an answer. I'm not. I'm literally not trying to give an answer. What I'm trying to decipher is this something that I've been doing unconsciously, like being with.
Be careful.
No, I'm not. I'm saying as far as my mental state. My mental state as far as shut up. I get this.
Because if you don't show up for the next podcast, I am calling your wife.
You see me here? I'm just drinking beer. The beer is here. No. What I'm trying to say is maybe emotionally, I can relate to a polyamorous person more. Like I relate to that level of connecting with a lot of different people and not feeling like I'm loving one more than the other. Like I can connect with that a little bit. I don't know if the lifestyle is me, but
that's why I said it's a different type of love. I think what you're
right.
talking about is more like agape love, like how you love like Dom and me, like friends and connecting in that sense.
Right.
And that's a different type of thing. What the connection you have with your wife
right.
is different.
It's different.
Than somebody, but this is where it gets tricky.
Right.
If you start to emotionally connect and open up to somebody more than your wife, that's a different form of cheating. You know, like, because if you're
spiritual,
so as far as saying that you connect polyamorous wise, I would say that friendship wise, you're able to distribute your affection that way.
Right.
But it's a different type of love. It's not the love that you have, an affection that you have for your wife. So I don't want you to get you in trouble with your wife. I'm just clearing it up. The love you have for her is monogamous.
Thank you for using the sponge.
Not to go polyamory in any way.
No.
Like, I can relate. She's gonna be like, relate to what? Who are you talking to?
Right.
So,
guys, we got another co-host on the podcast.
He'll put you on the couch or give you an airbag. Just go sleep outside.
Right? Better go polyamory. Talk to her. Yeah, no. You're talking about a completely different kind of like a love kind of thing. I think with polyamory, it's a different kind of energy. And I think in our youth, a lot of us are.
We all want to do that. We all want to do that. We all want to do that in our youth.
Yeah,
I think we were more connected to it in our youth. That's I think that goes across the board. We were more
connected. We didn't know how to communicate in our youth.
Right.
Because teenagers are just nothing but emotion. You know?
Right.
So even though we're not able to communicate, which is essential to making that work.
I can remember a couple of times where my communication skills were lacking.
I think it's everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah, the hormones going to do you at like 12, 13 should be illegal.
I felt like you seen people go at the mosh pit every time the relationship ended for me. I felt like I was entering a mosh pit. It's like, what? Emotionally, that's how I felt all the time. It was just crazy. It was bottled up though, so it just, Joe, you alright? I'm fine. Inside, that was going on. It's like, what song is he listening to?
But yeah, that's crazy. But I think what people do, doing a polyamory relationship, you gotta if you want to do that, that's your intention. Do it in the beginning, not in the middle, or you with somebody else. That's two different situations.
Or later in your relationship, like later years, where it's you have the respect of your partner or whatever the case may be, an established relationship where you can venture off into that if you wanted to.
But why would you venture though?
Well, that's where
I was saying, like,
there's some relationships that do that though.
No, it has to be from the beginning.
But that's where some of them, I think, the majority of the time they're trying to fix it, and that's because they're losing something. But with polyamory, I honestly think that if you establish it, like you said, from the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a new partner that you're dating, and you're not dating with me, they're not dating with me, but let them know that you're polyamorous from the beginning. And if you want to have, not a monogamous, but I'm going to call the honeymoon period, 3 to 4 months where you actually get to know each other, where you actually see if they really are polyamorous or they were just saying that because they were trying to knock you down kind of thing, and how they respond to certain situations. So if you want to have a getting to know period, it's not monogamy because you were honest about the polyamory. It's just you getting to know each other, establishing yourself with each other, and then it's not opening it up because you've always been polyamorous. You know what I mean? Like, to say that you're monogamous and then turn polyamorous, that makes me look at you sideways, because it means that you were always polyamorous, or you're just trying to fix something that a sinking ship that you need to move forward from.
It's like being 5 years married and then you ask your wife, let's have a menage a trois.
Well, that's okay, that's different. No, that's different.
You invite someone else into the situation. Can't do that. You can't do that. You be like Mr. Cheeks, me in my crazy world, and you don't want that. You don't want that at all. But I did have a thought on my mind, though, which kind of crossed my mind, but I forgot it. You know, old age is, you know, the motherfucker.
Right? It's hard.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me. But yeah, at what point, I would say, do you believe polyamory is practiced as far as the age group? As far as
now?
Because if you reach a certain age group, it becomes swinging. Don't you think, or no?
Yeah.
No?
No? There's two different things?
Yeah. Like, again, swinging is a monogamous couple that just wants a physical interaction with someone else. Polyamory is literally dating, forming that emotional connection, and you still have, it's kind of like, it's literally having another girlfriend or boyfriend. It's literally having another partner, you know, so it's like you have those arguments, those fights, like, hey, yeah, hey, I mean, I don't know who your audience is. It could be any, you know, but it's literally having. That
is very true.
Right.
Yeah.
That is very true.
So it's literally having an actual relationship. Swingers, it's just a physical thing. They're not trying to. They may want to try to have a physical interaction all the time or on a constant basis, but that's what swinging is. It's a monogamous relationship where they're open up to physical interactions. Where polyamory, it's really just them actually having an actual relationship with that person and bringing them in. You know? That's how women look at guys too. It's like, never went that drama. Like, I know, I've noticed a lot of people, because I'm older, they're like, oh, you know, you older women are bitter. It's like, because we realize the work you've got to put into somebody, and it's just not worth it at some point. Yeah, like I didn't understand the old woman living in the forest now. I do. Especially since, have you seen in the museum they have like these old hobbled whittle dildo? That old woman did not.
What?
She was sick of the bullshit. Yeah, I don't know why you would put wood down there in any way, shape, or form, because that just seems like a wrong thing. But I guess you being alone in the woods, you have to decide between dealing with a guy's BS or getting splinters. She was like splinters, you know. I already know how. I have the healing properties of aloe vera. I know how to put it down there. I can pull out splint. I'm good.
She got splinter pussy?
That Venus flytrap. But the way they found it, it was sanded down, so somebody obviously learned through their mistakes, shared it with somebody else. But yeah, no, relationships are complicated. You know, you have to give your time, your energy, and then even like I said with the polyamory, sometimes it's not even about the physical connection. Maybe you have a partner that you truly appreciate, but they're silent, and then you have one that talks like Jabberjaw. You know, you get to go between the two, and obviously they wouldn't get along because one's silent and one's Jabberjaw. You know, but you like both, so you know you like them for different reasons. But they're people. You know, it's not just about you collecting people like Pokemon. It's an interaction.
My preciouses!
Right? Squirtle! This one squirts my fucker, this one doesn't. Yeah, no. It's not like that. It's an actual relationship.
Now, let me ask you guys a question. I know only in Utah polyamory is legal, a legal union. Do you think it should be legal throughout the 50 states?
Nope.
I
agree. And the reason why I say that is because the alternative lifestyle is legal union as well. Now, if you open that door, shouldn't the door for polyamory be open as well?
That's not the same monster at all.
Nope. Now you're adding a group of people that's trying to claim the same pot.
Yeah, no, having your love who
I'm throwing it out there. I'm throwing it out there.
Yeah.
That would be I'm gonna let you know that's a legal mess. No.
I mean, like, and I hate these things, but I in my youth was in the military, and I cannot imagine if you allow polyamory
No.
The military.
No.
Wow. I mean, already I know people that have like they're on their fifth spouse. I cannot imagine if you were allowed to marry like group people.
Yeah, y'all military people like to get married, yo. Like it's like practice.
We're about to die. We're about to die. Of course we want to get married. We're trying to procreate. What are you talking about?
By marriage 7, you finally got it right.
Right. Imagine if you were allowed to get all 7 at once.
Hey,
by the time you're
listen. I'm trying to get this decade done, son.
I'm just saying because they mandated jab, so we would do mandated jab. I can jab the motherfuckers who made the jab too.
But no, I don't think the LGBTQ community is the same as polyamory. It's a completely different thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're adding that to the mix, that is just crazy, dog. If you're adding that dynamic to the alphabet, if you're adding that to that, then wow, that's just a crazy dynamic because you could go many different ways in that.
No, I mean, regular people go many different ways with it. I mean this guy. Everybody can do it. Everybody can do it.
You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's exclusive to them that way. Like, I don't think that polyamory and that I think there are polyamorous people that are in the LGBT community, but I don't think that that's synonymous. There are LGBT people that are monogamous. So.
Right. No. I agree with that. I know that.
I think if everyone's monogamous, there's some people who practice polyamory. I think it's fine as a phase or a thrill to have two people. That you could have fun. You could do your thing with spiritually, physically, whatever you want to call it.
So it's almost like being a Christian and not going to church.
How? You gotta expand on that one.
It's like there's a practicing Christian and there's a non-practicing Christian.
Got you. I don't think it's a phase though for certain people. Like some people let it work. You remember that couple from the 80s, Goldie Hawn and I forget her partner?
I didn't even know she had a partner.
Wow.
They had a whole.
I know she had kids and everything.
Yeah, but they never got married. They were open to the whole, like they went through the whole 60s. Remember how the 60s were? Well, not because we were there, but what we saw, like it's that free love thing. So,
we were the after effects.
Right. We were the result of the 60s.
Right.
Like getting together.
Like, get it together. Get your shit together.
The whole free love thing, and their arrangement works. I mean, I don't think it's a phase for them. And like I said, go ahead.
Right. No, what I was gonna try to add to that was, do you think hippies adopt that lifestyle more?
Hippies again.
Yeah.
I don't think they do their research. I don't think it's ethical. No, I don't think it's an ethical thing. With them, it's definitely just a physical thing, much like swingers with no attachments in certain form. Obviously, I'm not speaking for every hippie. I'm not speaking for every hippie. But from what we saw on those tapes, it was really like, it was just anything goes. It wasn't really a discussion. It wasn't about them loving each other. Like the whole commune thing wasn't about, like it seemed like a good idea because I think they were trying to go back into the Roman days where it's about taking care of each other and you just learn to be a better person, and it turned out to just you be going on trips and fucking whatever you could. And that's
I'm back! Who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Right. So yeah, it's not the spirit of it.
I got you. I'm just trying to add different dynamics to it. Go ahead.
Now, let me ask you guys a question. Hypothetically, would you guys be involved with a polyamory relationship?
Ethical polyamory that somebody's well versed in, possibly.
Possibly.
Yeah, because with the internet, the access to options are out there, and it's not a physical thing. Sometimes you do bond with people over certain things and everything else, but it's got to be somebody. Like I understand there's jealousy and everything else like that, but it's got to be somebody that's able to communicate. It's got to be somebody that's not trying to just add to their numbers, you know. And they've really got to have a sense of self. Like, I mean, they've got to be in therapy, sense of self, you know, not just like, oh yeah, no, I know who I am. You know who I am. You know, but like they've got to have a reason. They've got to be grounded. They've got to be. It would be an extreme condition, but it's got to be like an ideal person. You know,
right?
Like how Prince Charming is. They don't exist. But I mean, if it was it, and that's just for me, just for me.
Wow.
So people have different standards. Wow. You know what I mean? So, but it is the altitude and the weather was right, and you know, Venus is in retrograde kind of thing. Yeah. What about you?
Well, me or JoeyG?
Yeah, you dumb.
Fuck that guy.
I'm not trying to ask questions and have her call me up like, yo, what do you mean?
Listen, as we spoken a bit off chat, you call me Mr. Red Flag.
Mr. Red Flag.
Now,
here we go.
Since you know I am Mr. Red Flag, you think any female would fly with me dating two females at the same time?
Yes. No. My problem that I would have with you is, do you mind somebody else knocking down the other females while you're gone?
Oh.
Ooh, that's powerful.
Because I don't think women will be able to talk it out, and I think, you know, it'd be like, hey, we discussed this. She's here, I'm here. It's a different kind of thing. I love you both, but as a guy, knowing that they're also able to go out and have another relationship. Obviously, guys think the ideal thing is that another woman's going to hook up with another woman. It's going to be a big Game of Thrones orgy.
Yay!
No. But sometimes they want somebody else.
Genius!
Honestly, you know, you could say the same thing if I choose one female over the other more.
What do you mean?
Like, if I give more attention to one female than the other, that could be the same thing as well.
But that's something you could discuss
Absolutely.
And work out. But are you able to discuss and realize that that female that you love may have been physical with somebody else? So you're not only just kissing her, she might have done stuff before you met up, and you're going to be kissing that.
What you talking about, Willis? we get to nitty gritty.
I'm just saying, you know, oral is a thing for everybody.
If she tastes another pussy, or she's talking another dick.
See, that's what I said. Everybody's okay with a female being with another female, but she's with you, so you know she's into men. So are you okay with her being with other men?
Listen, in my perfect polyamory relationship that I want to be in is with two women. I'm not in the business of sharing with other women.
And that's why I said that's what guys think, and that's not fair. You know, because you're going through. So what if a woman said to you, and I'm just putting it in your perspective, right? You just said my perfect situation is two women, right?
Yeah. Perfect polyamory relationship is two women.
Polyamory, two women, because they get together and it be just you, right?
That's me.
Right?
That's right.
So, as a woman who's in a polyamory, this is not my situation. Mm-hmm. How would you feel if your girl was like, yo, I just want these two guys to get together, get a DP going on, and see them make out for a bit? You see how your stomach's turning? That's how some women are. That's how some women are. So the fact that you're like, this is my ideal situation, some women are like, yo, I mean, I know you've seen situations where
I've seen it, you know. I've seen it.
Yeah. I mean, but you see how you're like, no, that's not what I want. That's maybe she doesn't want a vagina in her face. Maybe she wants another penis. I mean, she is with you, so you know she likes that already. You know, obviously she may want the pills.
Then if that's the case, then apparently I'm not bringing the thunder that I need to bring into the game.
So I don't think you're ready for polyamory. That's what I'm saying. I don't think you're ready.
I never said I was polyamory.
No, but you said your ideal situation. Your ideal situation is not polyamory. Your ideal situation is to have two women. Polyamory is the ability for you to have a relationship and them have a relationship and still be with each other. If you can't accept that you would have a relationship with another man knowing that you're a man, that's not polyamory. You just want to...
I made my statement. You asked the question, I gave the answer. That's the answer I'm giving you.
Right, yeah, no. But yeah, no, I don't think it would
But it's not something that that's something if I was young, back in our high school or early college days, that's something that of course you would try to experience that, but not now.
Yeah, but I think that's like I think it's a sexual thing though. I don't think it's... Yeah, I don't think it's a relationship. That's what I'm saying. The polyamory is a relationship. Like, just like you have one girl complain that you didn't get her flowers, the second girl is going to complain that you didn't get her flowers. It's not
you know how to solve that? You know how to solve that? Get both of them flowers.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying, but it's still a relationship, it's not that you're just showing up to one to knock one down and then having conversations with the other.
Yeah, if you get one pink rose, you gotta get the other pink roses too. If you get one red rose, you gotta get them both red roses.
But what
no problem.
What if the other one? That's the
problem.
That's the problem. What if the other one doesn't like pink roses? What if she likes red roses and the other one likes yellow roses? And now you've just gotten them the same thing. And it's like, oh, you remember her preferences, but not mine? That's what I'm saying. It's a relationship. And you know how women are. Can you imagine if you bought a dress?
That's the problem. That's the problem. Women will open up so many Pandora boxes. They're from Venus. It's like millions of doors open up.
Okay, hold on.
For one shit.
As a guy.
One little thing.
As a
millions
guy.
of doors open up.
As a guy, Don. As a guy, right?
I'm listening.
You're with your girl, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you're wearing, what's the cologne you wear?
Carolina Herrera H2O.
Okay. Let's say her ex used to wear jupe, right?
Mm-hmm.
If she buys you jupe and you know her ex wears jupe, would you be like, that's the problem with you males? You all want different things. You just should be happy with what you all got. The same thing you just said about the roses, she could say about getting that cologne because the other guy wore it and that's what's his preference. Why are you complaining about preference right now when you should just be happy I got you a gift? Because that's not your thing. You're a human being and you're different than her ex. That's what that is,
I never denied anything.
It's not a problem.
Listen, you guys, I'm going to ask you next time you put me on this podcast to make sure I have a notebook, a pen and a paper, and get these things jotted down so I don't go through these problems.
Listen, sometimes, I'm not going to go into colognes. That's a whole other podcast.
No, I'm just saying, you're saying women should be happy across the board, and it's like, you guys aren't even happy across the board. You know what I mean?
True.
You want something that's specific.
Is it fair to say a female's a slippery slope anyway?
What?
A female's slippery slope anyway? I'm just saying.
I think men are... See, that's the thing. Men are just as troublesome.
Men are
just
simple.
shut up about it. And that's the unfair part. Like,
you ever found
what's
the
the
right
most
man,
frustrating thing that I've heard about women? Like, when you get with a guy, yeah, they're like, oh, it's your time to do the household and this, and that. When you went to his apartment, he was doing dishes and laundry, and now he's in your place, like, he broke and he doesn't know how to do shit. Like, oh, but that's your job. You're like, for real? Because you were doing this before I showed up.
See, that's not a guy. That's a red flag. You should leave that guy.
Yeah, oh no, I do. I don't.
That's a red flag.
I have no idea in the middle of making out when you're not the size I want to be like, oh, nah, I ain't adding my numbers. You need to go, bro.
Listen,
no.
I might as well change my name on that thing called Big Don and call myself Mr. Red Flag. Each time LT's on the podcast, my name will be Mr. Red Flag.
Yup. Because I mean, that's the thing. You gotta. It's you're not dating yourself, and
yes.
I think it's for us women. You have to. So I said you're not dating yourself, and his son's like, yes, exactly. He knows at a young age you don't date yourself. You've always got to adjust to somebody, and I think with men, they exaggerate the terms with women, like, oh, women do this, and that. And the thing is, women don't complain to you about you because a male whose ego is the worst thing to deal with. And it's like, why are you always ripping me down? It's like, I'm not ripping you down. Just pointing out something. Go ahead.
You know what I'm gonna say about that too? In my experience, what I've grown from that, I just sit there and keep my mouth shut. If she want to say whatever she want to say about me, I just keep my mouth shut and say yes.
But it's not a say about you thing. It's like we're trying to grow. So let's say okay, right? I don't have this happen because I've had considerate partners, but some women say some guys leave the toilet seat up, right? And they're like, oh, that's your fault. You know, I'm a guy, blah, 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 blah. If I say, bruh, please, can you put the toilet seat down? Because when I go, it's not like you. It's got to be a backwards face situation. I can't check. And you're like, okay. And then 5 times later you do it, and then you're like, oh, you always bitching. You're not catching on. The fuck? That's you. That's not on me. That's you. You know? Right. And yeah. So it's not.
I'll tell you. I don't want to cut you off. I'm about to invite Prophecy,
okay,
the other co-host of the podcast, into the podcast. Prof, what's up, my G?
What up, though, yo?
What up? We gonna let LT finish your thought. LT,
yeah, no, I was just saying that in that case, it's not about us being bitchy. It's you not listening, and then it's like you blocked out completely when we're like, okay, look, this is what I was asking for, and you refuse to do it.
How can I say this?
Guilty.
It's just being considerate. It's just being considerate.
I listen.
I'm not asking you to change your height, your state. It's just something that you can change.
Guilty. I'm guilty.
I listen.
Yeah,
I'm guilty.
It's a fair request.
Sometimes I have to catch myself. You know, after I hear what she said, sometimes I'll be hearing things, and then I have to sit down. When I sit down, think about it 5 minutes. I'm like, oh shit. Then I have to hit him up and say, what up? What's good? You know, break up after it. After I lost track of it 5 minutes ago.
Right.
But yo, we get Prophecy. We get his statement on that. Yo, what's good, man? What is your thoughts on polyamory relationships, man? Tell the people, man. Tell the people.
Oh man, Dom, you already know that.
I'm waiting, yo. The people of True Players Podcast are viewing this. I'm waiting. So
yo, it's just so amazing, right? Because my whole like at first I thought it was cool, man, but it really yo, if you were doing if you got the Mercy of Lago, you know, and you could afford trips to Dubai, the yacht, I guess, you know, it's cool. But if you regular Joe, man, try and make it happen, it's very difficult. I never really was like, I wasn't big puns, you know what I mean? A player, you know, I was more of I was a lover boy, you know what I mean? I was soft to, you know, females going through certain things, right? So my dream was, I'm gonna rock with this one female and go in. And then one day, I seen something in her that I never seen before. It was a glow. So I went with the glow. You know what I'm saying? We was hanging around, you know, a group of females, and you know, I just put it out there, you know, just to see, you know, what kind of fish I'm gonna catch. And I caught the biggest fish, and it's my lady. My lady, you know, been with me 22 years, and you know, at the beginning, bro, like, you know, you already know the story, Dom. You know, my lady, you know, allowed another lady in my life, and this lady, you know, she got comfortable with us, you know, understood that, wow, this is a truthful man. Everything is on the table. I'm getting the best of both worlds, you know, telling her friends, yo, I like it here, blah, blah, blah. Got comfortable enough where the babies was involved. And me, I'm not a runner. I don't run away from my responsibilities. I know we having fun, but at the same time, there's a baby now, so responsibilities is there. Then the second baby comes. It's like, all right, it's more feelings, and it's like, yo, it's either me or her. That's not fair. Then I put everything on the table. Okay, it's like you're giving me a red carpet to walk now, then you're pulling it from under me, you know? It's not cool, you know what I mean? Like, give props to those, I give props to those men that keep it real on the table. You got a lot of snakes though, you know what I mean? They be like, oh, I don't got no girl. Stop lying. You're gonna cause more damage when you do that. Real talk. You cause more damage. So I'm thinking, all right, me keeping it 100, it doesn't cause that. It does. Poly is not really cool, man. I wouldn't even, like, I wouldn't support it no more. You know, I realized certain things that she kept back, that she never said, and it hurts later on down the line. You know what I'm saying? She told me, oh, I just want another female to feel the same love I felt. Okay. So naturally now when I'm giving that love, it becomes a problem. And I don't know that until later on. You know what I'm saying? While I'm being a good guy and I'm trying to do this, cater to everything, it's a problem. It builds up. You know what I mean? You know, the realization of it comes crashing down on you with your children. You know what I'm saying? Your children, you take a liking to another female other than their biological mother, they're wondering about that person too, you know? And they're not it's so easy for her to, yo, I'm out. But them kids are still thinking about you. You ain't say I'm out to them. You know what I mean? I still have to wake up to those boys saying, where's Mommy BB? I have to wake up to them boys saying, where's Mommy BB? I did, you know what I'm saying? As a father, a lot of us fathers always get beat on. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we're the bad guys. What about the good guys? You know, that are there in these poly relationships. It's hecticness, yo. And I've been with her 22 years, and I'm just starting to realize a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? But it still keeps us strong, though. Doesn't make us weak. It's just more conversation. You start to learn, you know, everybody's feelings on things. Man. I mean, me, like I said, I was that centerpiece of love. You know what I mean? I'm there. You know, traveling to this house, sleeping over here 3 days, and then coming back home, making sure, you know, that was a lot on me. But it felt good. You know what I mean? I was wanted. I was needed. So I never really, you know, took advantage of that. You know, outside of that, I ain't go looking for the third, the fourth, the fifth, without solidifying certain situations. But poly is crazy. I wouldn't support it. I wouldn't promote it because of my own experience.
So if you had to do it all over again, you wouldn't have done it.
No, I wouldn't.
Got you. And the thing is that the thing about poly relationships, with as far as two women go, you may have children with both of them. That creates a whole situation.
No
one wants that. You don't want that situation. You don't want your kids to grow up in that atmosphere.
Yeah.
That's why at a certain age, you can't do that anymore. You gotta focus on being monogamous. You know what I'm saying? You say monogamous and things like that. I don't know, LT, JoeyG.
Yeah, I think it's a communication thing though, because it's not like you said in Utah, it's not like it doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. It's something that can happen. Unfortunately, like you were saying, you know, he didn't find out about her feelings until later, so they couldn't work through. I mean, not that they should have, because it seems like she wasn't really bored. She just wanted the excitement at the time, but she didn't communicate, and that's what I'm saying. It's not something as common as they're making it, but it's possible and plausible if you're able to have that open communication. Because she didn't have that open communication. It's all about
communication, yo.
Right.
Because I was mostly the mouthpiece. You know what I mean? The life of the party, the bring everything together. What's up, OG? God bless you. I was always the bringer of light. You know what I mean? To the situation. So it's like, I guess, to not disappoint me, certain things was kept. But I'd rather have taken the disappointment early so I could learn how to clean up the milk that's just spilled. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, overall, my heart still pounded to my first woman that said, hey, you can do this and you can do that. You know what I mean? But I don't like the fact that she had to endure anything like heavy. You know what I'm saying? I feel ill about it. You know what I mean?
And it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Women tend to just kind of suck it in when you're younger because you're trying to please a partner. And then when you get older, you get this point of no bullshit, and then it all comes out and you seem bitter, but that's not the case. That's why I said it's gotta be communication.
And then I'm saying that to myself too, sis. I said that, I'm like, damn, why you act like, and I'm like, I can't even say why you acting like that. Like I said, feelings that you got. You know what I mean? I can't knock you for your feelings. But you can't knock a good man for trying to make things, go in a positive direction. You know what I mean? It's like it was too much. It was too much thrown at.
In that case, you had to try it. It's just kind of like
and
play baseball and they're like, nope, never doing it again. So you just gotta try it. Like, nope, that's not my thing.
And it just, it swallowed me. You know what I mean? I had to, I've been dealing with it most recently. That's why, I contact certain family members to get their perspective. It's not to, bash or anything. It's just to get perspective. Sometimes my lady, she be like, oh, why you asking this person? Cause, like, perspective, yo. Just take the word.
I think with women, though, you can't ask within our social circle because then it makes us look weak. So she might be upset with that. You can ask, like...
but I built, like, our social circle so thick. It's like...
I'm just saying that's possibly why she's upset. Like,
you see how I'm smiling right now? I'm just saying, though. Look, like, you see how I'm smiling right now? I have to keep this smile on social media. If I do this, my phone is nonstop ringing. Once my face frowns, if it goes like a week without a pic of me and her, it's a problem. The world checks in. We became like a power couple in 22 years. You understand? Like, we're a face.
No, I'm just saying
so that's why it's like the closest, our closest circle.
Together though.
Yeah, but you too powerful to just keep it. Some people, that's why I be saying that even with stars, like you become too big to talk like that. But that's like being in a relationship with somebody, right? 22 years. Let's say we're in a relationship.
But you can get help and request something from a non-biased party that has nothing to do with you. See, with women, I know you're saying it's a power couple thing, and that's cool, but sometimes you don't want your business to get out.
But like, it is though. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You see, in this poly thing,
But it's not with the poly. Like, it's not with the poly thing. It's in general. Even if you're monogamous.
No, it's really poly.
Really
poly. It's really poly. Now we gotta keep it 100. No, matter of fact, we ain't gonna keep it 100 because that's overrated. We gotta keep it $1 billion. Really, poly. We gotta stick to poly because that's the topic.
It's the topic, but I'm saying in general.
In poly, right? When you dealing with that third party, there's no kicking out, oh, this ain't your conversation. Ain't none of that.
No, not in the poly relationship. You said you're asking about help now outside of the poly thing. I'm saying you're asking about it now when it's done and over with. That may make her lose face. Like when you're with a group of people that know you, have known you long, and they respect you as that power couple, and you're like, hey, here's a chink in our armor. Yeah, she's gonna be upset. You need to ask somebody that's outside of your circle that doesn't know your business like that. That way she doesn't lose face. She's feeling that she's losing face because she let you do all this now, and you're telling people that look up to you. She may feel like she's losing face. I'm not saying you mean it in that way, any way, shape, or form, but you ask most married couples, there's certain people that they talk to outside of the marriage, because if you talk to your friend, your wife is going to give you the death stare, like,
once
for
again,
real.
You saying it
Wait
again.
till they leave.
Outside
that
the
is
marriage.
Witnesses.
Outside the marriage. See, you keep saying outside. There's no out. Look, in poly, there's no outside.
Are you in the poly relationship now, though?
It still is, regardless of what, because the children is involved. Like, if I break up, right, I'm going to show you some real deepness. This is how deep it gets. If I'm having too much conversation with one baby mother too long, it's going to be a problem. All right? There's no hiding nothing. There's no hiding anything in poly.
That's not what I'm saying. You said you were asking relationship advice from your social circle.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about.
That's what I thought you said. You said I'm asking.
It wasn't advice. No, it wasn't advice.
I was like, don't
advice.
ask
Number one, it's not advice because I ain't need advice. I was getting the perspective.
Why do you need perspective? You were there.
That's one. Hold up. That's one.
You need perspective.
Two.
Now I see why your girl
the perspective comes now. Two comes from the perspective of the person involved. You understand? Like, I'm talking.
So you're asking the other person that you just.
Yeah, the other person that's deep in it, that's deep up in it, because that person is the only one. Because pillow talk on both ends, right? I could lay up with you chilling. I could tell you 75 good things. But then when you lay up with her, it's a whole different world. She could tell you 85 good things.
So
that's 10 more on top of me.
Your main chick told you to cut somebody off, and that's who you're contacting for advice and perspective?
Not my main chick. Nope. It wouldn't. My main chick is another chick that my chick is dealing with.
How many chicks do you have? I thought you said you only had one.
That's what you gotta understand.
You said there was no more poly. I'm focused on my main. We're 22 years, and now you're saying the chick of the boyfriend's like. Whoa! First off, how many chicks are there? How many chicks are there?
Oh my God! Oh, here we go.
I'm lost. How many chicks are there? I need a number. 3?
There's 5.
There's 5 chicks. You were knocking down 5 chicks.
5.
Okay, so out of the 5, do you have one now, or there's still, not because there was a polyamorous, but right now, do you have one main one and 4 others that were in the relationship?
Yes.
Okay, so the main one, right? Are you telling me that she told you it's closed now, and I know there are kids involved. I get you. But she said it's closed. You can deal with the kids and speak to her, but you're asking her about perspective on the thing you did to her? And
no,
that's not making her lose faith?
Not the thing I did to her. Perspective on, this is what I was asking. Perspective on certain feelings on, like, letting your other significant other know when something is bothering you.
You're asking the non-significant other about her feelings. So you're asking a female that didn't get along with another female about how I'm supposed to feel?
No.
Really?
You confusing it.
No. You said you're not asking the main chick who's having the problem. You asked another chick about her perspective. I can't speak for all females, so I don't know where.
This chick is very close to mine. Okay. And this is the situation, sis. Right? I'll holler at her about certain things, like I'll vent right to her, right, and she'll take what I vent about and put it all on the table. But when wifey is venting to her and she comes back to me, she doesn't give me all of wifey shit. You feel me? She just gives me bits and pieces, and then gives me her perspective.
Let me interject for the 1 second. That's where it's all wrong. You should have all of them. You should have all of them on the same table talking about this, so there's no misconception, there's no misstory. No, you gotta have everyone in the circle.
That's what I'm telling you. Stop telling people she's obviously in your social circle if she's close to your wifey, and you're telling her everything.
How can I reiterate this so y'all can really grasp it? Why is it okay? Hold up. Why is it okay, right, that the female, right, my main one, why is it okay that my main one can vent to this
another
girl
female?
that we've been tapping, right?
Another
Why is it okay for you to pour out all of our business, all of our business to her, but then when she's talking to me about certain things,
it's a controlled release, and I'm sure as another female, she's not leaving cracks for her to see an opportunity to get to you. And here you come with information she's left out and filling in gaps like, yo, I'm complaining about her to you. And from a female perspective, you've just undermined everything I've told her. So instead of me being in control of the situation, us being able to repair it, you now let her know the entire situation, which is not okay. It's my female friend. Yes, you may have knocked her down, but you have a male circle to go complain to. Do not talk to the woman that I told you to stop fucking, and ask her how I think. That's my business.
You never hold up. You never told me to stop pumping it. That's number one. That's number one. Let's get that straight. You ain't never told me to stop pumping it.
Wait.
You only got nervous. Hold up. You said your piece. You only got nervous once that new one was taking a little step ahead of you. You never told me to stop pumping. That's number one. You never told me to stop pumping.
Wait, why did you say ahead? Because now your words are getting you in trouble. Why'd you say she's ahead of her?
Ahead, because like I said, I'm the one. Look, I brought you to a dinner table, right? I'm bringing you to a dinner table. So now we're at the dinner table. Now you sidekicking the whole host that I brought you to. Like, there's none of that. The miscommunication started when you felt like, okay, this is the girl I'm gonna manipulate and use against him. You see where I'm coming from? Like,
no.
You put me in a world where, look.
No, I don't.
How you not gonna see that? How you not gonna see that? Like,
because you brought two women together, right? You wanted them to get along.
No.
But they knew each other.
That's my point exactly of this whole thing. The poly gonna work with if you loyal to your grain. Okay, I was loyal to my grain, never went against it. You understand? As soon as you got a girl that is a little against the grain, you ran with that. That's the point of what I'm trying to say. The communication breaks when your brain starts to think negative already.
But you
started thinking negative
she got ahead of you. She got ahead of her.
Yeah, really not ahead of me. Ahead of herself.
I didn't say that.
Because
Wait,
the game,
no. You said you had two women, and the other girl got jealous when the other one started to get ahead. So you started to show favoritism. Of course she got upset.
But ahead on your level, though. I never told you, as a king, never told you nobody was ahead. You understand? Like, at the end of the day, where's the communication of even asking that? I got to learn that from somebody else that you nervous that they ahead of you. I never told you that anyone is ahead of you.
You just said that, and I didn't. Am I wrong?
No, I did not. Never did I say that.
Didn't she say?
Never did I say that. I said that off of that girl's perception. That girl's perception made her feel she was ahead.
Let's make it clear.
As a queen, you out of position trying to play a position when no one told you was out of position. In this poly world, like, you trying to be so clingy to a girl that I don't give two F's about. Pay attention before your future crumbles. That's bad communication. We supposed to be here. Not as soon as you get a promiscuous friend, you jump on that. That's like me and Dominic and Joey chilling, right? As soon as Dom says, let's go to the strip club, I'm out. I don't usually do that, though. You understand? But as soon as Dom come around, I'm moving. How does that look with my girl? My girl gonna look like, oh, I can't trust you around Dom.
No.
That's not a good look. The communication starts with that loyalty. Once you disloyal, it changes everything.
No,
I've been knocked down before about the strip club, so don't.
No, I'm just saying. The reason why it's different between Dom and that woman is that you're not sleeping with Dom. If you're sleeping with Dom, I'm sure she'd have an issue. Dom is a friend that might put you in a position that you have the opportunity to, but you were sleeping with this woman, which is not just. You're saying you were just knocking her down, but you're saying, first you said it was polyamory. So if it was polyamory, you weren't just knocking her down, you were in a relationship with this other woman. And then you're saying, no, you were a queen, you never lost your status. But as far as polyamory goes, you have two queens instead of one. You don't have like a queen and a servant. I mean, if it was just banging down, then you were swinging, you know? And you had an open relationship.
That's my thing. That's my thing.
But
see, you grabbing it.
You grabbing
it. As a power couple, you're not supposed to fall into something we ain't even locked down to. You understand where I'm coming from? That's where I'm like, communication fell where, like, you holding in so many feelings, but not realizing you don't got to hold these feelings in. We're not locking this person down. I'm using poly as an example. We're not
But I think you're using it down. But this girl, because you had an open relationship where you were banging somebody, where poly is dating somebody, and they're on the same level.
Exactly.
So you were dating her on the same level.
On the side, you feel me? She's getting now clingy to her. The reason why she's getting clingy to her is because me and her now, we have this so-called, in her eyes, we got this so-called communication. I'm like, all right, what communication do we have? oh, when y'all look at each other, this is a whole bunch of little splurts of little bullshit was coming out, sis. Like real talk.
But
I'm sitting in the background
the only
like.
reason why I would say that is because instead of talking to the main one about her issues and communicating and working through, you're talking to the clingy one that you said means nothing. Why are you talking to her about the other one's feelings? Just talk to the other one.
Because I'm gonna talk. Look, the only person, your whole time is with her.
Right, but
who else am I gonna talk to? A mirror? Who else am I gonna talk to? The mirror?
You have Dom and Joey from what I see. So female.
No, I'm not gonna call Joey and Dom. Why I gotta call Joey and Dom?
Because they know about the situation. This girl.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Joey don't.
That's what I'm saying. When it comes to having a discussion, you want somebody.
I plead the fifth. I stay out of it.
Yo, sis, I should have known you. Hey, yo, you guys. I'm upset with you guys because you guys known her for quite some time, and I could have been friends with her 2 years ago, and I could have been calling sis like, yo, sis, what should I do?
Like a month ago.
Oh, okay. Hey, Dom, I'm still gonna get at you because that's 30 days, man. That's 30 days, man.
I'm just saying.
Yo, but sis, my thing was this, sis. It got deep with me.
You to speak to somebody that's outside of the situation. Because in all honesty, I'm gonna.
She don't even want that, sis.
Let me finish.
She don't even want that.
And I finish.
She don't even want that.
Let her finish.
She want me to be.
You are.
She want me to be full quiet.
You ready?
She want me like this.
Ready?
Prof, let her finish.
Here you go. So don't run with this, but you're right. You should be able to talk to who you want to. However, if you're trying to make the main one happy, you need to speak to somebody that's not the one you knocked down, that has a non-bias to either you or not. Because, sorry, but women, especially if we get, I don't know if you do, but if we get like good dick, we might be a little biased. Okay? It might be, you tolerate some stupid shit when a guy can knock it down. So maybe she doesn't want you talking to her.
Finally, people
She doesn't want you talking to her.
Hey, yo.
Because you did that. And you need to find a non-biased female that you didn't knock down and get a fresh perspective. And stop feeding the one. And yes, it's unfair, but it's a double standard. Females can chat. I can run up to a girl like, yo, do you remember your first love?
Thank you, yo. Yo, just
I'll let it go. He needs to not talk to the one he was taking.
Yo, bro. Hey, yo, my bad, y'all. I'm just getting my hood love, man. I'm out here with my boys, man. Out here, like, we all bugging.
You need to get a non-biased party, and she thinks she's biased, obviously.
Sis, yo, we got to sit down and talk, sis. You gonna be like, oh, now I understand that. Oh, okay, I see what's going on.
We
gotta get off this line. Hey, yo, JoeyG. Yo, we gotta get off this line.
Honestly, I think you have good intentions, but the way you communicate may have caused a bit of a miscommunication between you and your mate. I think it's just your communication, because I even misunderstood you. I thought you said when the girl was getting ahead. I was like, oh, that's why she's like, don't talk to her. If she's ahead of me, I need to learn from her, not you. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it was more of like a beat, like can't beat them, join them type of situation, yo.
No. It's find out your secrets so that I can conquer you and kick you the fuck out of my house. And if you keep talking to her, I can't do that. Yeah. If I'm with somebody, right, and they're like, oh, yo, I like this girl because she wears yellow, but you're okay. Tell me my wardrobe is not going to change. I'm going to have little accents of yellow, and then you'll be like, oh, that girl's not worth it. You said you enjoyed knocking this girl down. That's why she hung out for so long. Maybe she's talking about what she did. You're saying she doesn't come back and tell you. Maybe she's trying to find out her blowjob technique that you love so much, and that's why she's not telling you anything. I'm telling you, maybe that's why she's not telling you anything.
Yo,
you don't
Joe,
know what they're talking about. You don't know what they're talking about. And that's why
you listening.
Well,
you missing it.
I'm gonna tell you something. If that ever happens to me, I'll tell her to grab a notebook, get a notebook, take notes. Anyway, I digress. I'll let y'all have your dialogue over there.
I'm just saying, she doesn't want somebody that's biased.
This is trouble. Make sure we always have her on this show.
Listen, Prof. She calls me Mr. Red Flag.
Yeah.
Okay? So,
Mr. Red Flag up there, man.
I'm gonna call you Mr. Red Flag too, bro.
Listen,
I love y'all, yo.
Listen.
I needed this. I needed this.
This Mr. Red Flag.
I needed this.
You know, listen, this Mr. Red Flag is probably a Zoe thing, you know? Because Zoe always get up. It's some real shit.
Dom, I'm telling you, with you, the prior statement stands. I think the reason why women tolerate your red flags is because you're then you're putting something down and they don't realize it until later. And then it's like, oh, okay, I need to stop being stigmatized by this and move on.
I don't know what the females think about me. I don't know. I just.
Different.
Listen, this is True Players Podcast, and we ain't keeping it real. Where we gonna keep it real at? Real talk. That's why it is, you know, we keep doing our thing here.
Hey, y'all love this show, man.
we gotta have a part 2. We gotta have a part 2.
For real, yo.
For real. But before I end the podcast, yo, I'm gonna go back to a previous episode me and JoeyG did last week. Strip clubs and relationships. They love you.
Oh yeah, yes.
We wanted you on that podcast. Listen.
Yes.
They look prop.
What happened at the strip club?
Yo, I got some stories for you.
Listen, Tom, I got many stories of strip clubs. So you know I shout at me because of strip club stories. I got a whole bunch. JoeyG can co-sign that too. And our boy Quavo can co-sign that shit too. Anyway, I digress. Oh, you can co-sign that shit too. Wiggles. My bad. Okay, we're going back to the... No. Wiggles in Queens Boulevard.
Oh!
me and Prof used to own that shit. We used to go in there, rock, wreck shop, go 20 deep. But that's another story. But anyway,
listen, my asthma.
Let's keep the focus, guys. Let's keep the focus. We might as well just do an after episode on Instagram.
We will.
After this.
We
gotta do that.
We will.
On my True Players Instagram, if you guys are not on my True Players, did I follow my True Players podcast on Instagram? You should. That's where the after episode will be at. And we'll get real raw on that motherfucker. But anyway,
but all jokes aside, though, sis, I was just playing it though. Five? Nah.
That's
But I've had a numerous. My cousin, like I say, it's all like you said, communication. It's all about that, yo. Cause if I didn't communicate the way I did, I wouldn't have got so far. But like I said, it was just sometimes you'll get caught up in trying to make the two females happy, and you won't notice that you're making like you're making one a little more happier than the other. And it's like my main lady, my wife is like, she's fragile, she had cancer, so it's like I wasn't really paying attention.
What's up with cancer being fragile?
No, female
fragile.
Female.
Can I ask you something real quick though?
He's Leo. He's a Leo.
No. I just was saying, like you said, you were making one happier than the other. Were you doing more? Were you being more attentive? Like one likes to go out on Sunday?
Not even that. Like for instance, when I first got with my first co-wife, like I was always trying to make sure that she's good. But it wasn't just me though. You know what I mean? The poly was super through the roof because wife was with it. You know what I mean? She was in the mix. Like I ain't never seen that before. You know what I'm saying? This type of mix, the way it was going. Like I used to wake up to a house to two ladies, you know what I'm saying, in the kitchen. I'm hearing them chuckling. I'm dead serious. It's like I would wake up to, girl, ha 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 ha, and I'm waking up like to bacon, da 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 da. They joking and you know what I mean, and that felt good to me. So when I leave the house now and go to
bacon.
work,
You mentioned
now
bacon.
I'm at work making that
or,
money. You know what I'm saying?
Turkey
I
or regular bacon?
No turkey bacon, because the beef bacon is a little greasy, too salty. You know what I mean? So I was getting, I was getting the good life, and she was helping me build baby girl's confidence up at the same time, because she couldn't have kids. They said doctor said she couldn't have kids. So wifey was waking us up, like, you know what I'm saying, waking us up to have sex. Like literally, like, wake up, it's that time, girl, you ovulating, it's that time. You feel me? And shorty was like falling in love with her, like, oh my God, this is a cool ass wife. You feel me? So that's how, that went about. And
did you reciprocate that for your wife though? Like, you knew that the other one had self-esteem issues, but you didn't know that your wife had things, so maybe that's why.
I think so, but it's not my, it wasn't my fault at that time. I'm not, hearing the confidence of someone like that, waking up, doing things like that, was mind blowing. Number one.
So you never heard of check on your strong friend?
Huh?
You've never heard of check on your strong friend?
No.
Oh. Then yes, you need to check on your strong friends, because your strong friends are strong because they're dealing with the issues on their own, not to harm somebody else. So I mean, I understand that you were like, hey, she was having the comment, but she had no cheerleader. You were cheering on this one, saying, hey, we got to make her feel better. She was making her feel better, but you did not reward her for any of that. You were just like, whoa, it's working out. So she obviously felt neglected. Like, you were able to take it. She was on board. You brought her on board. She was a cheerleader when you said be a cheerleader. She was making her feel confident, making sure she was okay, but nobody checked on her.
Nah, but you see. Let me tell you something, Softy. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. And let me bring you up to the real world of my cancer, all right? My cancer can fool you with the story I'm giving you, but the real reality is that one that came into the picture, she older than me and her, all right? She came to our house. Her first initiation, she put it on the table, okay? Here go the red flag. Hey, yo, Mr. Red Flag, beat this one. She come to our house, okay, and took care of us with her thoughts.
So you've never met an older person that you don't think was responsible?
No, you're not. Yeah.
That's what came out of your mouth. You said she was older than us.
Her initiation, she came to our house.
You obviously
sis, she knocked us both out the box, sis. I'm talking about her first time. Peep, sis. She's on hers, okay, on her red light. She was like, excuse me. Oh, I'm on my red light, but this is what I'm about to do. Me and wifey looked at each other like, what you about to do? Man, but all I seen was her head take care of both of us, sis. So listen here, me and wifey we both fell in love with that older lady right there, okay? All right? So
it seems like you're doing a lot of deflecting.
Yo, I'm trying. Yo, I don't know what's wrong on that. You know what I reflected on it?
Fire was working.
Yo, man, I reflected on it. I reflected on it when wifey told me. She said it herself. And one night we smoked and we chilling. She go, I was in love with her too. I said, what? You was in love with her too? Well, why you ain't tell me this? Okay? And this is through conversation after she done left, ma. So now you're finally admitting that, oh, you like female. Okay? That's when we realized it was a whole different movement. Guess what now? The communication comes when I'm out with the guys, right? It's a whole different world. You understand? Like, probably the things started to change after her. Because she left both of us, sis, like literally. Like, it wasn't just me hurt, oh, you left for my babies. No, my baby girl was hurt too, all right? And she would not admit that. That wasn't me. I'm stepping out of that. I'm trying to clear myself of some type of something.
Yeah,
Okay,
no.
so bear with me here.
Yeah.
So bear with me.
I mean, she left because she wasn't there to fix your relationship and you were having issues and you weren't communicating those issues. I mean, she can't fix the two of you and she had to leave. It had to be a clean break because if she stayed and let you talk and then not talk to your wife or talk to your wife and not talk to you, that's causing a broken situation. And she's not there to fix you. She's not was she a mental health counselor? Maybe she was. I mean,
she was damn near. Yo, she was a good manipulator. She was a good manipulator to the point.
I'm just saying.
She even said one time, "Oh, if it wouldn't work between me and her, if me and wifey wasn't together."
Okay.
All right, that's
that Jedi mind trick
look
shit.
at Mr. Red Flag though. Red Flag's head shook like, that's just game. She was spitting a whole bunch of game.
Why is that game?
Because
you don't need this
game.
relationship.
That is game. You don't see that game? That's game. I just gave you all the points of game. Number one, she was older than us.
So
Number one, she's older than us.
Wait. So this woman told you. Wait, stop. Huh? This woman told you that you would be better with her if the wife wasn't around. And this is the one you're asking for perspective and you wonder why your wife is
No, this is not. See, you're mixing a lot of stuff. That's a fact. In this world, you women always mix a bunch of stuff. Yo, in my lifetime, I've never seen it in my life. Yo, y'all even mix things down to the cereal. Y'all the type that will put Jack together with some nasty other cereal that's left in the cupboard instead of just letting me eat the rat
right now.
We talking about cereals and stuff right now.
Poly cereal. We talking about poly cereal.
But before we end the podcast, we got we gonna have an after episode on Instagram Live. We're gonna do that on Instagram Live. All right?
Yeah, we got to, yo.
I got a question to ask Layla because she missed the last podcast. We enjoyed talking about
strip clubs. Layla bad funny, yo.
Okay, strip clubs. This became venture with LT. That's what it became. But listen.
Okay.
I have a question for you. Say the sake of your argument, your man goes to a strip club, goes about $5,000, and you find out through his peoples. How would you feel about that?
One more time, Dom. One more time.
5,000 was it?
Your man goes to a strip club and spend
$5,000. Whose 5,000 was it? Like, did he take it out of my
That's the question.
That's
the question.
That's the question.
You're not spending, yo, Mr. Red Flag.
Hold on. Hold on.
Let me finish.
Hold on.
Let her answer the question. If your man goes,
if it's my 5,000 and I did not get a lap dance, somebody's in trouble. If it's his 5,000, do what you like.
I like Layla. We gotta go to the strip club, sis.
My money, and I didn't get any ass thrown in my face, then no, we have an issue.
So listen, let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
So if you went, you're the type of student that if your man goes to the strip club, you would join him in the strip club too, and engage in lap dances and champagne rooms.
No, I'm saying if it's my money, I'm going to be in the strip club, engaging in it and lap dancing. But if it's his money, do what you like.
Every week, different people. So,
if we have bills to pay, and you're like, oh, our car's about to be repoed, and you go to the strip club and spend 5,000,
we got problems.
Now when I look at you sideways and you ask what's wrong, I'm like, nothing.
I'm with you on that shit.
But you'll ask for a ride in my car because you have responsibility and you took your money
get an Uber
and did what you did. Yeah, exactly. And it better not be on my shared account.
I'm trying to tell you.
You have your responsibilities handled, and it's your money.
Word. Yeah, I'm not letting none of my men spend 5,000 unless it's a good night. Unless I can rebalance that.
You mentioned that. What's a good night with $5,000?
We just made it. Them girls deserve them dollars, yo. Like, come on, at the end of the day.
Listen,
there are some creepy guys in the strip club.
Come on, like,
get a day off
like,
you
got this one, right?
You gotta do acrobats for $8.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie. 5,000 at the strip club is, look, you really gotta think about it. 5,000 is two on the drinks, right? Two on like after hour extremities, yo. Feel me?
So hold on, time out. So you're admitting if you spend about let's just say 2 racks, you get
in the club. In the club.
In the club.
1,000, yo, 1,000. Look, 1,000 on drinks. This is the proper with 5. I'm gonna show y'all, man. 1,000 on drinks.
Show me. You gonna show the next
1,000 on. I'm trying to tell you, cause yo, your 5, you ain't gonna bank on 5 all night. 1,000 on drinks.
Is
1,000 on drinks. 1,000 on the chick.
Drink
That's
minimum
$3,000
is
left in your pocket.
Pre-game,
I ran through
minimum.
Come on, man. You talking to Black Bottle
OG.
Boys, oh man. we ran through strip clubs. We ran through strip clubs. Dom will tell you, like, we ran through strip clubs. My very first video coming out is in a strip club. So you do the math. That video, come on.
Why was I not invited to that video? Hold on.
Yo, no, Dom, it was a Jersey type of thing. You know what I mean? That was out there. It was already set up by Nick Hayes Productions, Haitian boy Birdie. You know, so they already did that for your boy. That was like a birthday bash for me.
Okay.
You know, I didn't have no control of that. They set me up. If you see the video, yo, bro, if you watch the video, you can see it was a setup. Watch the video. Yo, the video's from the block. Yo, they just woke me up. I just jumped out the shower for the video. You feel me? Them boys just got me up. Yo, when I got to the club, there was so much booty. I'm like, oh my God. I had 34 shots of fish, 2 fish bowls.
Yep.
Bro, I had no control.
Listen,
no
we gonna talk about that on the after episode Instagram IG Live. But my question to you is, you spend that much money as a man in a strip club, right? If you fail to do the after strip club extracurricular activities, you lost your money. Am I correct?
Yeah.
It's an investment. It should be.
You know what I'm saying?
You never, yo, my niggas will tell you right now.
Event. I'm just saying. So any man who says that he didn't do nothing with a girl after he spent that much money, it's lying. I'm sorry. Because you are hurt. Listen, if you spend that much money, you don't get no ends at the end of the night.
I want to take you to the crib. I'm gonna show you my crib. So that way you don't gotta always stand here.
That's why I said pre-game. Pre-game before you go in. Drink minimum. Like this.
I'm good.
Them drinks, they're working. They know how to hustle. They know where the 2,000 came in. You know,
right.
She knows to hydrate before she gets there. I don't know where the $2,000 came from with the drink. But
bro,
I don't need sparklers with my Jack and Coke. So you should just give me the $5.50 version of the Jack and Coke. I'm good. So I'm not sure where all those expenses came from.
Like that,
bro.
Like that, though.
Dom.
Yo.
You can see that military came out of her when she talked about the pre-drink. Every military person knows about the pre-drink. We buying before we would get to the club.
That's like 2 for 1.
Right. No, we're not doing that. We getting the bottle.
Right.
We mixing the drinks before we get there.
Right. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
What do you mean $300 for $20?
Hey, yo.
Nah.
I don't need sparklers or asses.
Let's end this podcast right now. We're going to the after episode podcast right after the IG Live. Yo, let's start with JoeyG final words on the podcast, because there's going to be a part 2.
Listen, the poly world is serious, and if you're trying to do that, if you're trying to be involved in that, communication is key to the whole situation. You can't have that type of situation and not have communication. If you are neglecting that in the situation, then you're basically asking for problems. That's where I'll leave it at.
All right. Yo, Brian, what's your final words? Final words.
I think he's talking to someone.
Yep.
I'll wrap up mine.
What's your final words?
It's communication, and you got to make sure that they're not there pleasing you. You got to be accepting and be willing to work through your jealousy, because it is a human emotion. You got to be able to walk through and be able to give and take. It's not just a one-sided thing and you being selfish because, you know, you saying I'm getting all of this and them being neglected. It's not fair. It's got to be an equitable thing and an even playing field.
Gotcha. Well, it's been a pleasure having you guys on the podcast. It's always been fun. We're going to do it again. There is going to be a part 2 to this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. You know, what can I say? Let me get props back in.
No disrespect to y'all, fam. Yo, I love my true players, yo. But I gotta go chop it up on some hip hop, man. Me and my niggas, man. Hey, yo, Dom, you see who I got out here with me, man? I got my nigga Pops up here with me, man. You feel me?
Respect.
Queens legends out here, man. I got another one, Queens legends right here. TPM chief producer. You know what I mean? So we're about to link up and turn up, man. Got a new mixtape called Murder One. You heard?
Got you. Yo, no problem, yo. It's good having you on the show, man.
I love my nigga, yo.
It's gonna be a part 2, my G.
Right, you already, yo. Yo, you see us? We out here, man. We out here. We outside. We outside.
All right, man. Peace, my brother.
All right, true players.
Oh man, yes sir. Well, it's been an interesting podcast. You know, what can I say? About the podcast?
Lack of communication. I can see that.
Yes, I think that communication thing hit home this whole podcast.
Yep.
I can't identify where I went wrong in my thinking. but
I was happy.
Seriously though, the communication thing is a big issue, and if
that's
you're
what happens, yeah.
It across the board, regardless of what kind of relationship you're trying to have, communication is key to most things. Right. If you're not having that communication, it leaves room for interpretation of your mind's imagination to the negative thoughts, because it's not always going to be positive. You're not always going to think positive thoughts on the opposite spectrum. So you want the lines of communication open so you don't have those issues. Listening to the poly world and everything like that, as far as relationship goes, I understand more that's necessary for me to communicate in relationships in general, not just my marriage, but across the board. I see how neglecting things can lead to interpretation, which leads to a disconnect, and that's not the intent for the person who is not communicating sometimes, but that's the byproduct. So getting that across, getting better at communicating, it builds bridges rather than break them down, and you'll move forward further with more people than you would by not doing that. And that's what I'll leave it at.
Got you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this ends our podcast. Pleasure everybody watching. With any comments, definitely hit us up. I will definitely hit you guys after the outro. I'll give my little spiel after the outro. And LT, JoeyG.
Pleasure.
All right, let's do it. once again, everybody, thanks for watching the Two Players Podcast episode. It's been a pleasure having you guys watching the show. I want to thank my co-host LT, JoeyG, joined us on the podcast. I'd like to thank Prophecy to join us on the podcast. You can listen to the podcast on Anchor, Speaker, Spotify, iTunes Radio, TuneIn Radio, SoundCloud, and any other platforms that my podcast is on. And also, you can watch it on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel. All right, it's your man Big Dom signing off. If you want to check us again, join us on the after episode on IG Live, www.instagram.trueplayers podcast. On the IG Live, we're going to do an after episode on IG Live after this. All right, wish everybody good night. Peace.